What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and we are going to jump right into the Minotaur's Labyrinth in Stage 15. Wanted to just kind of show off my speed team that I use to farm Minotaur now. I no longer spend the 800 gems whenever I get a new champion because I can pretty quickly farm up all of the masteries, usually in about an hour with this team that I have started to use. And this actually kind of came about because in the clan that I'm in Claw, we kind of challenged each other to do speed teams. We have speed runs recorded on our Discord, and everybody can kind of post their run and see who gets the fastest. So it's kind of a cool little semi-competition. It's actually basically everybody kind of encourages each other to try to push further and further into the content and build faster and faster teams. So it's kind of something cool to do once you've reached kind of late game and you can start investing the resources into building things like this. And of course, when you have the champs that will enable this kind of team. So the primary four we're going to be using here are going to be Ithos, Septimus, Coldheart, and War Maiden. Now I have Turvold in here. He's actually just getting his masteries done, but these other four can basically run this in usually 10 to 15 seconds. That's pretty much the range. It gets 10 to 11 fairly consistently. It kind of depends on the champion you're bringing in for scrolls to see what their run speed is, and also a little bit of luck for Ithos on whether or not he does fully nuke the first two waves. And you can kind of see how it works here. Now Septimus will Holy Sword, and then unfortunately Coldheart Heartseeker the other guy, and now it's going to be a little bit of a longer run. It just kind of depends on how the champion AI decides to act. But we can also go in, and if we're monitoring it, let's see there, Ithos got a little unlucky. He didn't nuke the entire wave, and we did get it there. Now if we just target the Minotaur, Septimus will Holy Sword, and then Coldheart, for whatever reason, she's just like wishy-washy when she uses her Heartseeker. But you see there, 13 seconds. So we're pretty fast. We haven't hit the 10 quite yet, but we'll go ahead and get into the gear and everything else here in just a second. Just want to do a couple more runs, see if we can get lucky. And it's kind of funny, we are using a War Maiden here. So there you go, there's the 10 second with the Heartseeker when she does things the correct way. We've kind of burned out all of our energy there. I don't want to use a refill right now, so we'll go ahead and jump into the champions and take a look at them. And then I'll kind of talk about War Maiden real quickly. I actually found out that she was faster than Draco and Lydia for her animation. And basically we just have her tuned to go after Ithos so that he will nuke wave 1, he'll nuke wave 2. If he misses anybody on those waves, usually she's going to use her A1 to finish them off. And she'll then have her decreased defense to use on the very first turn she takes against the Minotaur, puts that decreased defense out, and then Ithos will hit hard, Septimus will hit hard, and then Coldheart will hit hard, and you'll usually finish it off pretty quickly. Now, I was talking with HD60. He and I were kind of actually going back and forth the other day. I got a 12 second, and then he got an 11, and then I got the 10, so we were kind of going back and forth. But another really cool champion you can use here that not a lot of people think about is Spider. I believe he's a Dark Elf. I actually was trying to pull for him earlier because he's got a really fast animation on his decreased defense and weaken that will actually get you about a second faster. So you could probably go to 9, maybe even 8 with that, depending on your computer. This is your screen size and some other things there. Obviously the animation speed of your other champion that's running with them. But these are the primary four, and then you're going to bring in your scroll champion to basically just work on that. So actually the other day when I pulled Mithrala, I was able to get all of her masteries done in a little over an hour for clan versus clan. I just put her in Minotaur. I think it was like 100 runs on auto and just put her all the way through, and we had her done. And I also had brought her to 6-star and let her level in Minotaur. It's another thing I like to do now. So don't really spend the gems anymore on doing this. When you get a farm like this and you're AFK, you're off doing something, you're at work, whatever, you can put the auto runs in and just finish off those masteries pretty quickly. But let's go ahead and look at the team here. Let's go ahead and find Ithos is probably going to be the first one since he is Void. You can kind of get a look at his masteries there, but the one thing that was really important here to get this down to a very consistent time was getting Ithos into a Savage set. So I did take a little bit of a cut on his crit damage, but managed to get him crit capped into 242, and he's 212. He's the fastest guy. It's because I used him in Farm Nightmare 12-6, so I need him to be a little bit quicker. And I had to drop his attack under 5,000, which I didn't really like doing, but he's consistent enough now to where with the Savage gear, he can usually one-shot the first and the second wave. So then War Maiden doesn't have to use any of her abilities, and she's got her decreased defense ready to go for that final round when you do come in. So that's Ithos. He is one of the legendaries in here. And then, of course, we do have Septimus. He's hiding here somewhere. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, man, I don't have the Septimus. I don't have these big hard hitters. HD60 on his 11-second team actually uses 2 Royal Guards instead of having the Septimus. So he's able to get those big max HP hits. So there are ways to build this just using the same concept, which is basically nuke wave 1 and nuke wave 2. Get the wave 3, get the decreased defense off, and then hit with the big max HP attacks with your Cold Heart or your Royal Guards. You may not get down to 10 seconds, but you can still get a pretty quick time using that same concept. Now, poor Septimus here is in some pretty trash gear. He's only got a cruel set for bypassing that defense, but we did actually get him over 6,000 attack, 193 speed, and he's a crit cap of 248 crit damage, so he's just pretty much a glass cannon here, just slamming the Minotaur with that Holy Sword. That's kind of how we have him built there. His masteries as well, so you can see those. We've got a War Maiden here, who's the surprising rare champion that shows up in this build. You guys know I love War Maiden. She's one of my favorite champions in this game. I think one of the best value champions overall, considering how easy it is to get her. I actually have mine in a stun set because when I used to use her in the higher level dungeons, she's able to surprise some waves with that stun on the decreased defense attack. And just to kind of show you how she is built, she is going second behind Ithos at 209, 228 accuracy, just enough to land that decreased defense. Other stats really don't matter because the only reason she's in there is to land that decreased defense and have that quick animation time while doing it. And then let's see our Cold Heart. If I can find her, I have like 17 Cold Hearts on this account, so let's go back up here. I think it's my Cold Heart 3. This is my introducing the Swift Parry version of Cold Heart. And the reason I actually did put her in Swift Parry is because it was the best crit damage gear I actually had on the account when I built her, so I was able to, since you don't have to get 100%, I was able to actually get her over 300% crit damage. I'm actually working on this Cold Heart as part of my attempt at getting an 8-second Spider 20 team, so that's another reason I had to put her in this set to get her across that 300% crit damage threshold. You can see her mastery. She is in Helm Smasher since our crit damage is so high. But that's pretty much the way she is built there. So that's your 4 champions that we used in this Minotaur speed team. And again, like I said, the concept is pretty much the same. You may not have the Ithos, you may not have the Septimus, but if you can get that big wave nuker, if you can get a Royal Guard, if you can get a couple of Cold Hearts, and a decreased defense champion, you can figure out a way to make this work with the 4 champions, so then you can get your time down to like 30 or 45 seconds maybe, or even in the 20s. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be 10 seconds. As long as it's a low time, that's going to make it more effective for you to farm faster. You can level up champs, and you don't have to spend those gems. It's going to save you quite a bit in a gem department and having to burn 800 gems to finish off the masteries on a champion. And it comes in handy too if you've got a champion with masteries that are like half built and you don't want to spend 800 gems just to do like half of them. You can have a faster Minotaur farm, go in and just get it done quickly overnight or while you're AFK doing whatever. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys this team that I'm using now on my main account. It was pretty fun to build this, and like I said, all part of the kind of little fun speedrun competition we do in our Claw Discord, so it's pretty cool. But as always, guys, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. I'll do my best to get you an answer as soon as I can. As always, hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.